this is Michaela, and here is a quick practice you can use after your workday to just reset the body, clear your mind, and approach your evening with a fresh perspective so that you can be present and content with your time, either enjoying your evening by yourself or with your friends or family. Going to start standing, and for the practice, you will want to have either a yoga block or a firmly rolled up towel or blanket just for the very end. So go ahead and grab those props and then meet me at the top of your mat, standing to begin. As you come up to the top of your mat here, take a moment to just interlace the fingers and start to draw some figure eights with your wrist. So it's like the knuckles are tracing tiny figure eights on the top of the ceiling. And you're just giving your wrist a moment to reset from time spent at the computer or on your phone. Go the other direction there. You might hear some crackling and popping. That's okay. Release your hands, give them a little shake, open and close the fingers. And then bring the palms of your hands together and rub your hands together and push a little pressure into the hands so you start to feel some friction and heat build between those two palms. Once you feel like you've gotten some heat, we're going to take the palms and place them above the eyes. Let your hands gently press into the sockets so that the heels of the hands feel like they're giving just a small amount of pressure. And letting that warmth that you built into the hands translate now into the eyes. Giving the eyes a little moment to refresh from time spent staring at the screen. Release your hands. You can keep your eyes closed if that feels good and comfortable for you. And we'll start to find just a little bit of movement for the neck. Allow your chin to tuck, and then rotate your head to the right. Drop your right ear to the right shoulder, and lift your chin to circle your head back, taking left ear to left shoulder. Rotate your head to the left, and then bring the chin back to center. Other direction, rotate left, left ear to shoulder. Circle the head back, lifting the chin, right ear to shoulder. Rotate the head to the right, and then back to center. One more time through those next circles. This time bring fists into the hands. Tuck the chin. Rotate to the right. Right ear to the shoulder. Circle the head back, lifting through the chin, left ear to shoulder. Rotate to the left. Trace it back to center. Last time, other direction. Rotate left, ear to shoulder. Circle back, bringing right ear to shoulder. Rotate right. And then take it back to center. Lift your gaze, look up, and then start to tuck that chin again. And this time slowly round yourself forward, softening the knees as you go, and feeling as if you're unstacking your spine one vertebra at a time. You might feel a small amount of effort in the belly kick on to help you find that segmental control. Bend your knees as you get closer to the bottom so that it's fairly easy to take your hands to the floor. And then press the feet down into the floor. Let the legs come a little bit closer to straight as you lengthen your spine, pulling forward through the crown of the head and gathering the shoulder blades together and down the back, broad chest. Exhale as you fold yourself in. And then we'll take a slow roll to come all the way up to stand. Feel that small amount of effort in the belly kick in naturally. You don't have to overthink it to help in that little stack of the spine again. As you come all the way back up, let the shoulders set on the back, allow the gaze to look forward, and take an inhale to reach the arms out and up. As you exhale, let your right hand come down to your thigh, left arm reaches up and over for a side bend. Push the left foot down into the floor and reach through the left fingertips, taking a full breath into the whole left side body. Inhale, back up, right arm reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, left hand comes down as the right arm tips over to the left. Feel that pressure into the floor with the right foot. Reach through the right fingertips and find that full breath expanding the right side body. Inhale to come back up. Release the right hand down to the side. Press the feet down. Take an inhale, reach the arms up. And this time we'll take a hinge to come into our fold. Send the hips back. Draw the hands in through the heart. Soft bend at the knees as you fold forward with a long back. Take an inhale to halfway lift, lengthen. And as you exhale, plant those hands and step back to a table, knees meet the floor. From your table, let the hands press down into the earth. And as you find your inhale, allow the belly to soften, hips reach back, and the heart pulls forward. As you exhale, round your back, cat pose, tucking chin and tail. Inhale, cow, lengthen the belly, broaden the chest, sliding the shoulders down the back. And exhale, round the spine, tucking chin to chest. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round, and you're going to stay in your rounded back. And then start to draw some big circles with the rib cage. So you'll shift your ribs over to the left, let them soften through center, press over to the right, and then round your back through the top. Do 2 more in that direction, and allow your elbows to bend, your hips to sway as needed, just to create some big circles with the rib cage, getting into all of those different angles in the thoracic spine. The next time that you start to press over to the right, round through center and pause, and then just reverse the direction. Press right, dip down and across, press left, and round up and around. 2 more big rotations through this in this direction. Last time here, rounding the back, and let your inhale bring you to a neutral tabletop. We'll step that right foot through and between the hands, and then push into that right foot to lift the chest up. From here, take a little tuck in your tailbone, squeeze the left glute, and feel some length come into the front of the thigh. Keep that, and as you reach your left arm up to the ceiling, turn the palm back behind you, and then start to turn the palm out to the left. As the arm comes all the way behind you, spin the palm up to the ceiling, thumb points towards the center. Soften the arm down by your hip, and then reverse that, pressing the palm straight up and back. Turn the palm out to the side, and as the arm comes up next to the ear, spin the palm back behind you. Let the arm rest down. 2 more times just like that. Arm reaches up, spin the palm out, keep spinning to take the arm all the way back behind you, palm faces up, let it soften, press up, turn to the left, keep spinning that palm, bring it all the way up, arm all the way up next to the ear, palm faces back behind you, and then soften. 1 more time, reach up, turn out, reach back. Let it soften. Turn it up, out, and all the way up, palm facing back. Let that arm come down by the side. Tuck your back toes underneath you. Gather in the strength of your legs. Push down into your right foot to lift the back knee up, and then turn towards the long edge of your mat, finding a triangle shape with your legs. Take a moment here just to feel that your hips can hinge left to right. And as you find that hip hinging action, draw your right hip crease back, reach your right fingertips forward, and then take a short or a small triangle here. You're not going in really deep. In fact, I want you to stay higher up. As you find this kind of high triangle, press down through the outer edge of that back foot. Stay really strong in that back leg, and then like a little elevator ride, you're gonna glide that right arm, that right hand up the thigh as you cinch this left side waist, and then control as you lower back down. Slide up, and control pressing through that left foot as you come back down. 3 more here. We're working these important stabilizers for the low back that can often get a little bit stiff and tired at the end of a long day at the desk. Restoring both length as we lower down and strength as we find that lift up. Last time here. Lower down, let your right hand meet your shin or a block, and then reach that left arm to frame the face. Really anchor that left foot down into the floor and turn your chest a little bit more up to the ceiling. Take a nice steady breath there. Soften your right knee and let your hands come down to the floor as you pivot on that back foot. Left knee comes down, and we're just going to step that right foot back and switch sides. Left foot steps forward. Press through that left foot to lift the chest. And we're going to find a tuck of our tail again here. Keep that tuck in the tail. Press down into the left foot, right knee, and we'll find 3 of those arm circles on the right side. Reaching the right arm up next to the ear, palm faces back behind you. Turn the palm out to the right and then keep spinning as your arm comes all the way back behind you, palm faces up, thumb points in, and let that arm come down. Press up and back. Turn the palm to the right. Keep spinning as you take the arm up next to the ear, palm faces back behind you, and then softens down by the hip. 2 more. Press that arm up. Turn it out. Keep turning to take the arm all the way back, palm faces up, and then down by the hip. Press up, turn out, bring it all the way around, and then back down. Just 1 more time there. Reach it up, turn out. Keep turning to take that arm all the way back behind you. Palm faces up, thumb points in. Relax. Press that palm up. Turn it out. Keep turning to take the arm next to the ear with the palm facing back. And release your arm. Tuck your back toes under. Press into the left foot, press into the ball of the right foot, gather that strength of the legs, come up, come all the way up, and then drop the right heel down. Feel your triangle stance here. You can hinge the hips left to right. If you need to make an adjustment with the spacing of your feet or the width of your feet, go right ahead. Draw the left hip crease back, arms to a T, and really push into the right foot as you hinge the body forward. We're going for a slightly higher triangle here, so don't go into your full depth, but stay a little bit tall. Keep that, and like you're drawing that left hand up the leg, a little elevator ride as you cinch the right side waist to pull yourself up, and then control as you lower down. We've got 5 total here. Press through the right foot, cinch the left side waist, draw up, and control as you go down. Press down, rise up, control to lower. Press down, rise up, control to lower. Got one more here. Press down through the feet. Use that right side waist and low back to lift up. And then control as you lower down. Let that left hand meet your shin or a block. Right arm reaches to frame the face and really push the outer edge of your right foot down. Turn the chest up a little bit more to the ceiling and take a nice full breath into the right side, back and waist. Let that right hand come all the way down as you soften your left knee, pivot on those right toes, and then step it back, tabletop. We'll take the hands to the floor one more time and just go through one round of cat-cow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to round. Inhale, come back to center here. And we're going to come onto our backs. Grab your block or that firmly rolled up blanket and lay down on your mat. You choose here. If you have a yoga block, you can take it at either the medium or the low height underneath your pelvis. But either way, we're going to press the feet into the floor, lift the hips up, and slide that block or your blanket roll underneath the back of your pelvis. Feel that your low back is hanging off and your pelvis is nice and stable on the block. Draw the left knee and then the right knee up off the right foot off the floor so that your 2 knees are stacked over your hips. Reach the right foot straight up towards the ceiling, flex the foot, and then grab onto the back of that left thigh. Slowly start to reach your right leg away from you, turning the toes and the knee up to the ceiling, a nice strong flex in the foot. And you'll lower that leg just until it becomes about parallel with the floor, maybe a little bit above. We're looking for that point where the low back wants to start to arch. And if you draw that left knee a little bit closer into the chest, you'll kind of lock that low back into a nice long shape so it will have less of an opportunity to arch. From here, we're going to lift the right toes up an inch and then lower them down an inch. Go up and down. Up and down. For 3, 2, and 1. Let that right heel come all the way down to the floor. Bend the knee if you need to there, and then you can draw that left leg a little bit closer in as you dig the right heel down into the floor. And if there's a space available, you can imagine or potentially reach that right heel away from your body, even if it's just like a 1/2 millimeter. Feel a nice lengthening through the front of the hip. Let the low back and pelvis be relaxed and heavy. And take one full steady breath. Switching sides here, soften the grip on your left knee. Draw your right leg back up over the hip, and then catch onto the back of the right thigh as you reach the left foot to the ceiling. Reach that left leg away from you, keeping the toes and the knee pointed up to the ceiling, so there's a bit of activation happening in that leg. And you're just going to that point right before the low back wants to arch and lift away from the floor. So we're feeling that the low back stays nice and still as we bring more length into the front of the hip. From here, lift that foot about an inch and lower it about an inch. We'll take 4 more tiny pulses, bringing a little bit of length and tone into the front of the hip flexors. And last 2. Last 1. Let that left heel come all the way down to the floor. Soften the knee as you need to be able to let that heel rest. And then if you have space available and you're looking for a little more sensation, you can pull that right knee a little bit closer as you reach your left heel away from you. Soften the pelvis on the block. Relax the low back, let it drape towards the floor. And take a full, steady breath here. Release the grip on that right leg. Soften the left knee. Draw the foot back to the floor. Right leg meets. If you're on your blanket roll, you can choose to stay there. If you're on your block, drop it to the low height. Set it underneath the pelvis once more. And then if you like, you can take a legs up the wall variation in the middle of the room. So we'll just pick our feet up and stack them over the hips there. If you're on your blanket roll and this feels like maybe not the most stable or comfortable setup, you're more than welcome to release the roll from underneath you and let your low back just be right on the floor, or let the back of your pelvis just be right on the floor. You can also go scoot your butt next to a wall and do a true legs up the wall variation. And allow yourself just a few moments here to let the blood flow kind of reverse and move back towards the heart, releasing some potential stagnant circulation from the feet and ankles. And this is where I'm going to leave you today. So you choose how long you'd like to stay here. And if you'd like to take a moment to lay completely flat on the floor, that's an option as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this practice helpful. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.